NLDS against the Dodgers right there at home, where the Dodgers lost all 3 games. Now, they're really serious about this, right? They brought out the clergy. Father knows best. They blessed the dugouts. Joe Torre, Lou Piniella, they've each got World Series rings as managers. Ryan Dempster, 14-3 ERA, sub-8 at Wrigley this season. So everything's in line. They look good. And then in the first, top of the third with 1 out, Dempster walks Derek Lowe. Then Rafael Furcal on the first pitch. Outside, after a fly out, Manny Ramirez up with 2 outs. Ramirez hits the grounder to the hole. Ryan Terrio makes the sliding stop, throw to first, not in time. Manny hustling as always, as he's hustling on this play anyway. Next batter, Andre Ethier runs the count full, and Dempster shakes him down, gets him swinging. Cubs out of the inning. Wrigley faithful. Look at the rejoicing. Dempster, wild again in the 5th. We got 1 away. Rafael Furcal, 3-1, yeah. Ball 4, take your base. After securing the 2nd out, Manny comes to the dish again and promptly falls behind 0-2. He gets it to 3-2 and then works a walk out of this thing, base on balls. Next batter's got a 3-1 count. That's Andre Ethier, so Larry Rochel's on the phone. Get some guys up. Andre Ethier, ball 4 to you. Dempster's 7th walk of the game. Larry Rochel's comes to the mound. Quick meeting. Son, over the plate. Ready, break. Bullpen not quite ready. Dempster stays in to face James Loney. Swings and misses on the first one. Strike 1. There's strike 2. And for the life of everybody in Wrigley, this looks like strike 3, but he gets just a piece of it to stay alive. Dempster wastes one's high, and the next pitch, well, I believe that is right down the pipe. That's the kind of thing right here that can get a priest excommunicated. The grand slam. 3rd slam in Dodgers postseason history. Dodgers go up 4-2, and Sweet Lou not feeling so sweet. His man just got peppered. Derek Lowe with the lead in command in the 5th. Strikes out Alfonso Soriano, who's 0 for 5 with 2 Ks. Later in the inning, Derek Lee. Low grounder up the middle. Shortstop will handle that. Turn the 6-3 double play. Lowe, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned, 6 Ks. In the 7th, still 4-2. Manny down the count 0-2 again. This time he doesn't work the walk. This time he belts the home run. Dodgers go up 5-2 in his 25th career postseason homer. And look at this. He hit a pretty good pitch here. Down, out of the zone, a curveball. And yet he gets enough bat, enough strength to put it into the seats. Cubs fans, Manny's happy. How you feeling about this whole thing? Yeah, not so good, and it's cold. Dodgers win at 7-2 to take the 1-zip lead in the NLDS. One love LA. 4th time in Dodgers history they've won the first game of the postseason on the road. Previous 3 times they went to the World Series. Derek Lowe now 4-0 in his last 6 postseason games. And Dempster, as I said, so good during the regular season at home. Here we go. Lou. And the Cubs home against the Dodgers after losing game 1. And as Steve mentioned, when you put your ace on the hill like Carlos Zambrano, you expect him to come up big in a tight spot. And he gets a call there from Paul Emmel. Manny trying to set the tone, doesn't like the call. Here's the 0-2 pitch, high cheese, and Zambrano makes the statement. Inning, half inning, over to the 2nd. Joe Torre plays hit and run. He does this in big spots, and Ryan Terrio cannot make the play. Looks like he may have been able to use the glove and throw out James Loney at first. Ethier goes to 3rd. Later, Blake DeWitt. Routine ground ball, double play. Mark DeRosa, bit of a dicey hop maybe, but he bobbles it. Runner safe. Ethier scores. E4. No outs on that one. In 11 all season, Zambrano getting ground balls, but not getting outs. Next batter, 1st and 2nd. Casey Blake. Derek Lee can't make the play. Another error, and the bases are loaded. The last hop explodes a bit on Lee, and then he can't find it. 3-time Gold Glover Zambrano. He can only smirk, not getting outs. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Get out of it with just 1 run. Rafael Furcal, the old school drag bunt with DeRosa playing deep and short like he should with 2 outs, but it scores a run. 2-0. Still get out of the jam. Only 2-0. You're in it. Bases loaded. 2 outs. A 3-1 pitch. Fastball right down the middle, and Russell Martin connects. 8 for 13 in the regular season off Zambrano. He sees the ball well, and he unloads the bases. 4 of the 5 runs unearned against Zambrano, but it's 5-0 Dodgers in the 2nd to the 5th. Manny Ramirez in the house. Manny Ramirez out of the house. Over the shrubbery and straightaway center. No one's hit more career postseason home runs than Man Ram, his 26th.
Cubs, Bill Murray taking it well, but his team is down 6-0. Chad Billingsley, he was a first-rate National League pitcher this year that not many people knew about. And he gets Alfonso Soriano right there, and the crowd starting to lose their patience. They cannot believe what they are seeing. Billingsley, again, he has nasty stuff. He gets Aramis Ramirez there. 7 strikeouts allowed, just 1 run. Kerry Wood in to get some work in the 9th. It's 9-1 Dodgers, pretty much over. The bad defense continues. Ryan Terrio's throw is low. Each starting infielder responsible for an error. The Cubs have still yet to win a postseason game under Lou Piniella. The Dodgers a win away from the NLCS. This is a team that had fewer regular season wins than the Marlins or the Blue Jays, but right now they look like an elite team. Game 3, Saturday night in LA, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. So the story of Game 2, bad Cub defense, good Dodger offense, and Joe Torre has 2 wins in his Dodger postseason. In order to break their century-long title drought, the Cubs will have to do something only one team has done before. Come back to win a best-of-5 series after losing the first 2 at home. Not a good start. Manny Ramirez, base hit to left. Russell Martin had to go back to second, then went to third, and very close to being called out, but Jim Reynolds calls him safe. 2 batters later, James Loney takes the Rich Harden pitch and sends it into the right field corner. 1 run will score. Will Manny Ramirez score? Yes, look at Larry Boa, former Baseball Tonight analyst. He's a little intense. Look at him. Woohoo!
He's supposed to be in the box.
Yeah, after the ball's in play, I guess he can run wherever he wants. All right, 2-0 Dodgers. They threatened early, the Cubs did, but Aramis Ramirez can't get it done there. Jim Edmonds grounds out. So Hiroki Kuroda in some trouble, but kept getting out of it. Again, man on third, 1 out. Mark DeRosa grounds out the third. Then after Ryan Theriot was intentionally walked to get to the pitcher, that's a big advantage in the National League. Kuroda, who was getting ground balls, got a swing and miss there. Bottom 5, 2-0. Derek Lee, normally cool, calm, collective. Not here. Derek Lee composing himself, normally good, but the frustrations of the Chicago Cubs got the best of him, got the best of Cub Nation, as the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead. Russell Martin brings home Rafael for call. Kuroda still cruising. In the 6th, Giovanni Soto swinging. Jim Edmonds, check swinging. Joe Torre pulls Kuroda in the top of the 7th with 1 out, 6 in the 3rd, no runs. Corey Wade comes in. Alfonso Soriano, his postseason numbers continue to plummet. He flies out to right. Then Mike Fontenot. Put a good charge into this one, but Matt Kemp just gets his glove up in time, and Wade gets out of the jam. To the 9th, Jonathan Broxton came on, and Alfonso Soriano strikes out, and the Dodgers sweep the Cubs. The Dodgers win their first playoff series since winning the 1988 World Series. It's their first series sweep of any kind since the 1963 World Series when they swept the Yankees. This is Joe Torre's first postseason series victory since the 2004 ALDS when the Yankees knocked out the Twins in 4 games. That was just before the Yanks blew the 3-0 series lead to the Red Sox.